Just a pilot in his cockpit seated. Black leather on his ass, keep a hustler heated.
Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. I just got quite a few questions about what exactly they paid me for the WRX, what I paid for it, and just kind of the whole cost of ownership over the, I think I owned it for 13 months. So I'm just gonna go into that real quick, showed you exactly what I paid for it. I got the original sticker, I know what the insurance company told it a lap for, and approximately what I spent over the month. So let's go over it real quick. Here's the original sticker for the car. As you can see, the MSRP was a total of $28,114. So that's what the original price was. You can see the options here. It's basically just a base model WRX. It was completely base with a couple of options, all-weather floor mats, the bumper little sticker thing, which they charge $95 for. Cargo tray, which I still have in the garage, trying to give away, and the HomeLink mirror, auto dimming. So those were the only options that were on the car completely. So everything else, the fog lights and everything else like that, I added myself. So complete base model, and that comes out to a little over $28,000, which isn't bad, but I did get a really good deal on the car. So what I actually paid for the car was ended up being $25,493, and that's a price that I worked out. I went back and forth with a couple dealerships, and I ended up going to Gilman, which is 40 miles away, rather than going to my local dealership, because the local dealership actually didn't get back to me in time when I was looking to purchase right at that moment. They eventually came back, like when I was in the process of doing the paperwork, and they were willing to give me a little bit better deal. But I was already in the paperwork, I already was, I was in the process, so it just wasn't worth it at that point. $25,493, which from a, total price of $28,114 is a very good deal. $3,000 off or something like that. Ended up being a really good deal. I was surprised I got that kind of deal, because it ended up being actually cheaper than what it would have cost to buy a used one. And that's for a brand new car. So that was rather impressive that I was able to get that deal. It was somewhat unexpected, of course with the tax of $1,593. It brought the total purchase price, with tax and everything, up to $27,000 and some change. So I put $2,000 down, which brought the total transaction cost for my loan up to, you can see it here, $25,526, and that's when the original loan was established. And of course I financed it through Subaru. You can see all the data here. Pretty straightforward. So with my $2,000 down, I think I financed it for 60 months. I don't even recall how long the term was, or the APR. Really not really relevant at this point. But the payment was $398.85. So I paid that $398.85 for, let's see, the first payment was due on October 4th, 2016. So I didn't even actually have it as long as I thought I did. So the first payment was October 4th, 2016. And the last payment that I actually paid on the car was in September 5th, 2017, which you can see here. That was the very last payment. The next one due would have been, the next payment due would have been in October, and of course it's not even October now. Look at my watch. It's not even October now, so obviously I didn't make that payment because the car was already totaled. that means I paid a total of 11 payments of $398.85, which, let me get out my calculator and see how much that was. So that actually totals $4,387.35. So if you add the $2,000 that I paid down, the total amount spent, and this is of course not going to include absolutely everything, but spent about $6,300.87 in the 11 months, almost a year I've owned the car. I think it ended up being a little over a year, right around a year. Yeah, it was more than a year, because I actually bought the car on 8/20/16. So bought it in August, on August 20th of 16, and of course the first payment wasn't due until October, because that's usually, it takes time to establish the loans and to get the payments going. So made 11 months of payments, but I actually owned the car for a little over a year. It was flooded on the 26th, so just 6 days to a year and 6 days is what I actually owned the car before I couldn't drive it because it was flooded. So that ends up being that $6,300. And that brings us to the next thing, what the insurance company paid me for it. So the insurance company paid a total of $25,872 for the car and 69 cents. That's what their settlement amount. It was a little more than that minus my deductible, which was $500. So that's what it ended up being. The loan, what I owed on the loan at the time, as you can see here, was $21,755. And of course the loan started at whatever it was, $25,000 or so. So I got a total payment of $3,917.07. That's what they paid me for my car seats, which I paid like $700 for. Still work in progress. I'm fighting them on that because they're giving me $200 for $700 car seats. Great, but that's neither here nor there. I got $3,900, and as you know, I spent $6,300. So let's minus 39,1707. $2,470 is what I actually paid. And this isn't including the mods, because of course I got screwed on that. You can't include the mods. Obviously I didn't plan on the car getting totaled. You know, that's neither here nor there. That doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters, but not for these calculations. So over a 12-month period approximately that I owned the car, cost me about $205 a month to own the car, which isn't bad at all. I mean, $200 a month, and that mostly has to do with the really good price I got on the car, which was almost $3,000 off, and the car holds its value relatively well, and that enabled me to, you know, essentially only lose a little bit of money, lose a you know, a couple grand, which is, you know, cost me $200 a month to drive the car. So I think that's a good deal. You couldn't have leased it for that. You couldn't have bought a used one with that kind of payment. So I think at the end of the day, I did okay. Obviously, with the money I put into the car, I ended up getting screwed, but you know, that's not something that you really can plan for. If I just drove the car completely stock, the numbers would have added up perfectly. And again, the original sticker, $28,114. So there we go. There goes the answer of what it actually cost me. I think the insurance settlement for, you know, what ended up being 26,000 something was reasonable. I mean, I probably could have fought them and got, you know, a couple $100 more or something like that. I don't really know how that all works out, but it was well in excess of what my loan amount was, so I was going to get cash back. So I was completely fine with that. And of course, the $392 here, I'll address this in a separate video. I also got a very good deal on this car, really good deal. And I put nothing down on this car because I kind of learned my lesson. And this is this can go into loans, and this will go into finances, and you know, everybody has their opinion on what you should put down on cars and just how you should address that as a whole. Obviously, I think it varies depending on your situation, what you can afford on your payment, and the risk you want to take. Obviously, if I wouldn't have put the $2,000 down on the car, I would have ended up pretty much in the same spot, except I wouldn't have had to pay $2,000 in the beginning, and I would have had a slightly higher payment. But you know, obviously the more you put down on the car, the lower the payment is, the more equity you can potentially have, which is great. But at the same time, it also means that your risk is higher if you get into an accident in the car in the first few months. I did not get gap insurance on the WRX because I was putting $2,000 down, and I know the car holds its value well, and I got a really good deal on it, and I knew the gap insurance wouldn't have done anything. Even if I would have crashed it on day one, the gap insurance probably would have not covered anything. It wasn't worth it at all. On the Cadillac and on this car, I did get gap insurance because it's definitely worth it. This car will lose value a lot quicker, and I didn't put anything down. And you know, the reason I didn't put anything down, honestly, was because I need all the money I can to pay for my destroyed house. So, which you can see here, they did come pick up all that crap, as you saw in the beginning of the video. And here's the aftermath. I got to get out here and clean it up, but I do have a contractor now, which is E-Tex Customs. Here's their info right here, and they seem really good. Pretty happy with them. And they're obviously going to be pulling out drywall and stuff, and they're going to be putting it right back over here and continuing to destroy the grass and destroy everything else. But this is Houston. Things love to grow. Really high humidity, lots of rain, so I'm not too worried about the grass not coming back. So that's not a big deal. Don't really like my house looking like shit, but you know, everybody else's houses look like shit too, so it's kind of the world we're living in right now. So anyway, that's what the WRX cost me to own over that period, over the year I had it, and I think it was not too bad. Soon I'll go into what I paid for this car, and you guys can tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of the WRX. Was that a good deal that I got on it? I always was curious what everybody else was able to get, because that price that I got was pretty good, considering I bought a 17 in August of 16. So it's not like it was, you know, model N year, like I bought a 17 at the end of 17 when they were really trying to liquidate them. I got it early, and it seemed like a really good deal to me. So anyway, that's it for now. And I got a couple new things coming for this Charger here that's going to be pretty exciting, and I'll go into that in the next video. So peace for now.
Just a pilot in his cockpit seated. Black leather on his ass, keep a hustler heated.